7 things that'll happen on your twin flame journey. 1. A longing in your heart. All the people, especially in this time, in the unfoldment of history, feel maybe a fleeting feeling of a deep longing in their heart. And it's this true, deeply touching, intimate sort of kiss of God that you feel as a desire to have the ultimate present being given to you, the ultimate love being opened up to you, the ultimate juiciness as an experience with a lover. That's something, that triggers the imagination, and that is so because it's a true feeling that comes up in the heart. It's a genuine desire that everyone has, but especially now, people are more and more ready to open up, to taste a little more of this genuine desire that comes up in the heart, that is placed there by God itself. And more, that is the real touch of the true twin flame for more and more people that become more and more conscious that that is so. While at the same time, it is in fact so that that is just placed into human beings because you are a human being. But it's a time now that that comes more forward, that people talk more about it. This quality in the heart. And wouldn't it be beautiful to, well, let's say, go after it, make it come true, have it, fill it in, live it, manifest it, however you want to say it. Yes, that would be beautiful. That would be beautiful. And we live in a time in which that is more and more possible for your normal you and me. Because the state of consciousness of harmonious twin flame union has been breached. To live like that with your true twin flame earlier on in the spiritual journey and do the rest of it together. It has been breached by the Christ masters of our time, with whom I co-create the possibility that you can have it too. And I have made that come true for 4 people until now, in April 2025, which may sound like not a lot, but actually it's a lot and was a whole lot of work. And actually that's like 10% of, all the harmonious unions. So that is a lot. So what'll happen on your twin flame journey? You'll feel the longing more and more distinctly. That's a stage. That's a phase. That's something that'll happen for you in your kind of way. Maybe very young already, as a child or as a teenager or in your early 20s. Maybe it repeats throughout your years to make it more and more clear to you that this is really the question for you in your life, in this life, to look for that one, to make that one come true, to make that one come closer. And you're lucky because you can. Well, you're not lucky. You're just loved. And you can invite that love in and make use of the possibility that we can now make use of that the consciousness state of harmonious twin flame union is available. So use that and start to actually go in in that option. Take the options that are presented to you to actually do that, to physically do that, to genuinely make the steps. Take it. It is here for you. This is the time that you do it and bring it to fruition. There is an end to the journey. There is an arriving in the journey. Some people think that this is all like, oh, I'm just feeling this longing. Isn't it beautiful? And maybe they wait around a bit, or they watch some YouTube videos and they try something out on that side too. But it's sort of vague, and they're sort of waiting around, and okay, I feel sort of longing, and I don't know. I guess we're all talking about it these days. And they think that's it. But this is just step one of the things that'll happen on your twin flame journey. And you can seriously take all the steps and arrive. Do you understand? Bring it to an end. Get the result in consciousness and therefore physically too, because these things belong together. The second thing that'll happen on your twin flame journey when you do it here, you'll meet them. Well, maybe that already happened for you. For some people, it did. For some, the meeting is still in the future, and that's fine too. That's all perfect. When you do the true twin flame inner work with a true teacher in the right community where there is the consciousness state of harmonious twin flame union, then it'll be okay. It'll be okay. No matter if you already met them or you get to understand later on that it wasn't truly them, but the true one will come. Or you didn't meet them yet and you're like, yeah, everyone has already met their twin flame, but I didn't. Like, is this for me? It doesn't matter. If you do the true twin flame inner work with a true teacher in a true community and you invest and you commit, it must happen for you. You choose that now, it will happen for you. Don't you worry. Meeting them is only a part of the whole thing. It can be beautiful and really make you go, like, how do you say that? Upside down, inside out? Well, it's just a life-altering experience because, yeah, you might feel this divine love that is bigger than anything love that you ever experienced. It can happen. And you're like, gee, what's that? That's beautiful. Maybe it is the twin flame, and maybe it is. And realize that this will also happen on the other side. When they meet you, you're also the twin flame of your twin flame, which is a very powerful idea. Because if it is your twin flame, you're together part of the same union, like bubble or consciousness space or, yeah, I don't know, like space, right? And that means that when you stand up for being that in that union space, you can influence that with your conscious attention and augmentation of love and healing power. And because you add that to that union space, they must be influenced by that too, in the same sort of way. Otherwise, it's not your twin flame, which doesn't need to be bad. It just means that your twin flame is still out there waiting for you when you do the inner work. So never worry about that. But you will meet them. And one of the fun things is that it doesn't matter what you're doing or where you're going, or like, should I go left or right in the city center of this city that I'm thinking about going to because maybe I meet him there. I don't know. It really doesn't matter where you are, what you do, what you choose. It can be that you have this inclination that you go to this city and you take the road to the right or something and you meet them. That's possible. Then you've sort of followed the instruction that sort of came to you from the divine. That's very possible. But I wanted to take it a step further and say, when you are in the inner alignment, and that's what the twin flame work does for you, okay? It creates the inner alignment with the core of your union, and through that with the source of where that union comes from, which is the divine itself. And when your physicality lines up with the core of your union, with the source where the union comes from, which is the divine, and when that all lines up, because you are in the right vibration, you do the true twin flame inner work with the true teacher in the right community, then it does not matter if you are in city A or in city B. They can come to you through like sort of the maze of the mist of time and space. Because life at the end of the day is a form of a hologram. And when you are aligned, that just comes through consciousness. You know that the flesh, the world, material is not really solid. You do know that, don't you? When you zoom into the molecules of your thumb or something, or of whatever of this oracle card, there is more space than hard cores of stuff. It's like empty with particles. That's what you see when you zoom in enough on the material of this card. Just like when you zoom in enough on the material of your body. So your twin flame can come in wherever you are. So make sure that you are aligning, and then they will come in. I'm not kidding you. 3, what'll happen on the twin flame journey? Learning the inner work. Okay, we already talked about the inner work now, twice at least, or more. You need to learn the inner work. It's some sort of almost against natural in the beginning. I mean, that will sound very strange and even unattractive, perhaps. But what I mean is that we're all so accustomed to living in the ego personality and in the consciousness of separation, in the consciousness of I'm a body, which you're not. We just talked about that. You are consciousness, right, in a hologram, basically, when it comes down to it. But we're so much used to the whole perspective. We like trained this for 30 years, from growing up and education and like being a professional and living your life and social peer pressure and whatnot. And it's all the belief that you are the ego personality and the body. There's not something wrong with that necessarily. The point is that to do correct twin flame inner work, you need to do a kind of inner work, tools, or however you want to call it, that go beyond that layer. Because your union goes beyond that layer. And you need some sort of a tool to bring you there all the time. But that seems like, quote unquote, against natural, because it is against what you're used to. And this is so ingrained. Like you have been practicing this for 30 years straight, or however long you are on earth, right? So don't be mistaken. It will potentially, possibly, likely in the beginning feels strange to you to do this kind of inner work, because we do the true twin flame inner work here, and that's the key exercise, and it needs to have a turnaround in it. So you turn everything around. You turn your emotions around to get to subtle feelings in the heart space that are actually sort of creative soul qualities. You turn your upsets about the world to other people and your twin flame around to see that you're actually upset with yourself, and then you find out if that is true and how that can be true, and then you go in yourself to love yourself at this painful place. These are the two first versions of the key exercise. So you need to do this turn around. And that gives us sort of like going from the ego personality kind of an embody kind of programming into turn it around and arrive at the fact that you're a soul. That is part of the twin flame union that comes directly from source, from the divine. And that is going to feel to you strange. It's new. Maybe you need a couple years to truly do the inner work correctly, get used to it, do it 24/7, and go into results of the inner work that feel truly very deeply relaxing. You feel so good, and you understand the inner work, and you do it all the time, and it truly fits you, and you're not tempted anymore to do something else and to change your mind in, let's say, the wrong quote unquote direction. And it's just completely something that you wear as if it's like your favorite summer dress, and it doesn't come off anymore. And you know that you can be like supported in the inner work with the key tool in the 4 steps by the 9-point energy system, and you have experience with that one, and you can not only take your twin flame or other people or the world, but also your body and your energy body as a mirror that you can use to turn around and to harmonize your energy, which is actually all in the key tool itself. But we also have a 9-point energy system to sort of like support that energetic movement that happens all the time when you do the key tool for twin flame inner work. So you need to, what'll happen on the twin flame journey for you, number 3, is you will need to learn, you will at some point learn the twin flame inner work. And you'll at some moment need to invest your resources, your time, your effort to learn it, because you need to go through this sort of learning curve, right? You need to go through this educational time for yourself to make that your own. To work with the key tool, with the 4 versions of it, to work with the 9-point energy system, to have that be supportive for you, to understand what kind of things can be done with it in the techniques, and to experience what the results of it are in actual lived life. And you just need some time to do that, some sort of a reprogramming of everything that you knew and how to deal with yourself. It's like a new idea that completely needs to move through you and needs to land in your daily life experience. And how you're going to do that, and that you're going to take every day some time to look into that. And are you going to write it down? Are you going to sit yourself down and close the door? And when do you do that? And how do you do that? And what's the result? And what happens next? And what's like the emotional flushing that happens next? And how do you deal with yourself in that? And how do you like comfort yourself in what happens as a result of that, and how you can learn to trust that this is the right thing, and that the flushing also is accepted by you, and that you move on to this new pristine feeling that comes over you, where there is this pristine twin flame love that is harmonious and peaceful. And that's how it's supposed to feel. Twin flame is not supposed to feel crazy, like you're going nuts or you're desperate, what we talked about earlier. That's not how it's supposed to feel at all. It's supposed to feel full and fulfilled and peaceful. And you need some time, space, resources, investment, commitment, and also commitment to keep yourself in doing the twin flame inner work. You need to somehow to have, like a community, like a teacher, like a course, like a group course, right? We start a group course for Twin Flames on May the 1st, 2025. You're welcome. It's going to be called Twin Flame Abundance Now. You need some sort of a place, a space, some years out of your life to allow yourself to learn that. So that's what will happen on your twin flame journey when you step into it right here. Like later on, after the first couple years, then you know it, then it's sunk in, then you live it every day, then there's nothing to question about it anymore. Then it goes automatically, But at first, you really need some time and space to do that. So that is what'll happen. And if it doesn't happen, you'll not be able to do the twin flame journey much further than what we talked about until here. Or it'll just be your fantasy. And that's not what I teach. That's not what we do here. We don't do weird fantasies of non-twin flames. So let's go to the next thing that'll happen on your twin flame journey. 4. Going deeper. Okay, so when you got number 3 down, what'll happen? Learning the inner work. Then you can go deeper. Then what'll happen is number 4, going deeper. And that means that you're more and more going to sink deeper in who you truly are as a child of the divine. Who you truly are, in other words, as the divine masculine or the divine feminine in your twin flame union. And you land more in that space. And your twin flame too, because they are your twin flame. And if they don't, they're not your twin flame. Okay, so you feel more peace and you do more inner work and you feel more peace, both of you. And you do more inner work and you feel more peace. And then it feels good to reach out, and then it feels natural to do that. And there's no problem in it, and you keep on connecting. And then you go deeper in the connection. You go deeper in communicating together with doing the inner work again. And you go deeper in building together. You start to build a life together. And then you go deeper in that inner work, and you start to begin the family that you've always wanted. And you go together deeper in the inner work. And then you can start your mission business. And you go deeper in the inner work. And then you attract your first clients in your mission business. And then you go deeper in the inner work. And then your marketing of your mission business really starts to work out. And people start to come in automatically, sent by the divine itself. Just like your twin flame was once coming to you, no matter the physical circumstances, because we live in a hologram. And then your mission, twin flame mission clients will also come to you. And then you go deeper together in the inner work. And then more refinement happens on what you all want to build, what you desire in your heart of hearts to build together in the world. And that's the going deeper. The going deeper is essential. That's what will happen on your true twin flame journey when you do it correctly, because that is the road, that is the path, that is the journey. You see, you need to go deeper in consciousness, and that's how you manifest all these things. So what'll happen is you'll go deeper, and that's how you manifest all these things. And what is going deeper again? Doing the twin flame inner work that you'll need to learn. So what will happen on the twin flame journey 5? Reaching the consciousness state. Sure, somewhere along the line of doing that twin flame inner work, you will experience that more and more you become aware of the fact that you are sort of the space. This is going to sound maybe very trippy, but you are the space in which you were doing your best to move through all these upsets with the twin flame inner work. And you are actually the heart of the space in which you were doing that all the time. And then you start to shift from the one that does the twin flame work, inner work all the time. And your attention shifts backwards to the one that is always present and was always present and is always in union. And that's when you fall into the consciousness state of harmonious twin flame union. And it'll be a recognizable moment for you. And the teacher will know it and you will know it, and we will co-create that for you. And then I sort of passed it on to you, right? And then we're together in that same understanding. And then you start to grow in that consciousness. That's what will one day happen when you do the true twin flame journey, how we do it here. It will be a distinct difference. You will truly know what that is. You will also have revealed to yourself your true twin flame. Your true mission will also start to definitively become clear at that moment too. All that information is in the harmonious twin flame union moment. That is a distinct moment. It's like the only moment that we can truly measure to the second. Okay? I have experienced that more than once. To the second. Together in a session, or even my student was not even literally in the session with me. It was maybe just the day after the session or something. But the communication went through time and space. Time and space doesn't matter. There. And it was clear. It was communicated and known. And then we could talk about that. So what happens on the twin flame journey? You reach the consciousness state. And then you have arrived. And then, in another sense, you still keep on going. Because it is so logic that only after that, such an enormous healing wave comes through. Comes washing through to change all your life aspects, to redo them on that frequency. So your psychology, your body, your work, your relationships, your family, all kinds of things. Your trauma, it just, the consciousness state washes over that and heals all of that. And that's actually a lot of change afterwards. Yeah. You truly need to stick around for that to make that safe and stuff, you know. So what will happen on the twin flame journey for you? Number 6. Experiencing the healing wave. Oh, there it was. Well, there it is. And I already explained it. That's what will happen. It will happen. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's just the divine's power to do all these things that you at this moment you can't imagine, and also you can't imagine how important it is and how big it is. Things such as clean your memory, your memory of your former life until that moment. Clean it, clear it up. You will, I mean truly will process your psychological trauma. And then, for instance, all the nasty memories will be cleared. They will be canceled. And your memory becomes pristine again. How it once was and was always supposed to be. For instance. And like the difference is night and day, night and day. These things happen because you're in that other consciousness. And why is that important? Well, don't you want to be happy with your twin flame? I thought that was the idea, right? So that's part of the being truly happy. Of the actual experiencing in the flesh of that being truly happy. That's the healing wave that moves through you, that does that after the consciousness state of twin flame harmonious union. So there you go. So what happens on the twin flame journey? 7. You keep on moving forward towards gold consciousness. That's like the perfection. That, yeah, I'm not sure yet. I'll let you know more about that in time. Keep on following me. The gold consciousness is where we're going now. What a perfection. You just keep on moving forward. You still do the inner work, although you've arrived. And it truly feels like an arrival of the twin flame journey. Don't be mistaken. It is the arrival. You can start to be with your twin flame and build with them too. And you keep on moving forward towards an even deeper state of consciousness. So don't be mistaken. The twin flame journey is over, but it's not the end of the end. You'll still live. Just like, even after the body, you will still live. You understand that, right? You're a soul, part of your union. And after your harmonious twin flame union, you'll still live. You keep on moving forward towards gold consciousness. There you go. And I want for you to go there so that we can also together reach that one. And then talk about what the heck that is. Wouldn't that be nice and interesting? That would be so nice and interesting. Oh, I'm looking forward to that one. So let's connect. You're allowed to step into our world that we share here behind the YouTube screen, so that we can truly make come true what I talk about here.